Welcome to a good, bad, and funky episode. It's been a while. I've got, what do you got? More than one?
No, I just have one. I have I have like 4 total, but I have one that's related to our episode we just recorded about children.
Perfect.
So it depends how much time you want to spend. But I can just do one, or I can do the other ones.
Yeah, let's just do the related one.
Okay.
And we'll make it quick so we can go do some other stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm going to play this for Taylor Ray for the first time. You guys enjoy, and then we'll discuss it a bit. This is from, actually, let me give a little intro, because this is from a Joe Rogan episode, and I also don't know who this woman is, but I saw it recommended by somebody else I did know online, so Rachel Wilson, and she has a book about feminism. It's like the occult foundations of feminism, something like that. So I was very interested, and I started listening, and I only listened to about the first 30 minutes. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I mean, I hadn't listened to him in a long time. Very specific guests, which I think is wise, because there's plenty that's not worth listening to, but some specific guests are very interesting, and this certainly was. And at about 17 minutes in, I found this beauty, so here it goes. Ready?
Yes.
Oh, that's not the real play button. This is.
Oh.
I didn't deal with it well. When I was at work, I felt like I should be at home, and I was missing my kids, and like I was really failing on the home front. And when I was at home, I felt like I should be giving more to work, and I felt constantly torn. And that's something I hear from pretty much every woman I talk to who has kids and a job, that it's really tough, that you always feel like you're not able to give enough to each thing. You just can't spread yourself that thin all the time, and I think it's bad advice. I think we give women backwards advice. I think we tell them, spend all your fertile years, all your youth, building a career, going to school and building a career. And then by the time you're like 30, 35, and you've got all that established, then you can think about getting married and having kids. Well, by then, you better find somebody quick and get on it, because you got a handful of years left.
Yeah.
You know, and you might need IVF and all these other things. And a lot of women struggle. And it's actually, nobody wants to talk about this. This is the conversation no one's ready for. Women's access to higher education is the #1 correlate around the world, regardless of economics, race, culture, status, anything, to falling birth rates.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start off with real quick on the IVF front, because she mentioned that.
Yeah.
And that will certainly be a part of our birth control and such that we have planned to discuss later this year. But
Yeah. What category? What season is that in?
it's the waters you're swimming in.
Oh,
which
okay.
Which you don't realize you're accepting, which is very related to the episode we just recorded about having children and delaying for arbitrary reasons. But the IVF, let's keep it simple for today. That no, it's tough, because there is so much. Like, any human life is beautiful and glorious. It's made in the image of God, but no, you do not need IVF. It's an industry. I want to come back to that a different time, though.
Yeah,
So
we can go into great detail. I was just trying to find another post that I had saved. It was just on Threads that said, I couldn't find it, but as best as I remember, it said they told us that getting pregnant could wait. So, like, speaking to what she was just talking about, and then sold our fertility back to us at $30,000 a pop.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Before we talk about your clip more, my clip is just exactly related that I think we should just watch it back to back and then talk about both.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a clip of Kate Hudson on the Today Show, and I wanted to share it with you because of the video itself, and then we can also look at a little bit of the comments, which are really discouraging, but the video is actually great. Kate Hudson was just in a awesome movie we just watched, The Song Sung Blue, and I actually really, really enjoyed it, which is great. It doesn't get to happen often with new movies. And she was nominated for an Oscar. So she's being very successful these days. For some context, if you're not in with the pop
Is this an
culture.
old clip then?
No.
Oh, this is from right now. Cool.
Oh, sorry, the audio is not working. There we go.
I started having babies really young.
Yeah.
I was 24 and I have an adult child.
Yeah.
You know? And so now as my kids are getting older, my creative life is taking on a different feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like backwards.
So your creative life's like taking off
it's like
now.
all of a sudden I have like a little more freedom to do things for myself.
By the way,
Ronnie's going to be 8, you know, she's 7, and so it's starting to feel different.
I love it already. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing. And it's funny because she says, I did it backwards. But it's like, that's actually the order you're supposed to do it in. You were very fertile. I think 24, if I remember correctly, is like the most fertile year you can have. It's like the most fertile and the most like healthy that you can be to get pregnant and deliver a baby. And so like she nailed it with that. And she's like, I have an adult child. I'm like, woman, you were around 50. I forget. I looked at it the other day when we were watching the movie. Like you should have an adult child. That's very normal in your late 40s.
What a blessing to be so functional. Like if you had a child at 22 versus waiting until like maxing it out and waiting until 38 or something.
Sure.
Then you've got adulthood like 18 at make it simple. 22 versus 42. You've got the child hitting adulthood at 50 or 70.
Yeah.
That's quite a difference.
Which like, hey, I would kind of, I don't know, I have this vision of our family where we're still having babies or at least adopting children in our early 40s.
Certainly.
But then, if we die when they're in their younger years, they still have older siblings. Like there's still this huge family that they would have around them.
That's why I put the specific emphasis in the children episode on the first child. Like
right. Just starting.
Because it will change your mindset anyway.
Oh,
so that's part of the
for
necessity.
the most part, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was so awesome. Like this woman, like she had a great run when she was younger, almost famous. Which I don't even think I've seen that movie. But How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. That's just iconic chick flick moment. So like she was successful for sure when she was young, but now she was nominated for an Oscar with this movie, which is like a huge measure of success for an actor that she didn't have until after she had kids. And like this is the right order. When we were watching that, I was like, oh, this woman has a lot of years left in her career. She's so talented. And she has children that are older now that she can do this.
This feels like a Pascal's Wager-esque situation, which I love, but let me reiterate real quick in case someone hasn't heard that. But this is like there's some level of foolishness, but it's a reasonable starting point, I think. And for a lot of people who are in the agnostic category, it holds weight, where you have 4 options. Either you believe in God and he is real or he isn't, or you don't believe in God and he is real or he isn't. You've got 2 of those options that end up being neutral, which would be you believe in God and he's not real, so nothing happens after you die. You don't believe in God and you were correct, so nothing happens after you die. But if you do believe in God and he is real, then your eternal soul is truly, as we know, is truly in the balance. If you don't believe in God and he turns out to be real, again, you're on the wrong side of your eternal soul being in the balance.
Yeah.
So on the kids front, you've got, if you're trying to, like she said, backwards, if you go backwards and you have kids right away.
Which is so not backwards, but
no,
according to our culture.
Yes, distorted culture. But if you do go this route and you have kids as soon as possible, and then you realize, oh man, I wasn't, like, this is more than I thought. Like all of a sudden it brings up major relational issues in your marriage that you have to deal with. Okay. Things like, there is serious financial hardship. Like if you have a first child and they have major medical issues, something like that, but you have the buffer of time to actually deal with these things and still be able to have more children. If you do it on the other end, you have no option. You end up with, maybe you can, it's like if you go push it out as far as possible, you do I want to get to be partner at my law firm by 35, and then, oh man, what have I been doing? I got to find a husband. I got to have some children. And then
we have friends who waited a few years and then experienced a really traumatic loss with their first child. And they're still very young, but still I heard from her that she says that it makes her so sad that they waited as long as they did. And like, it's so heartbreaking to hear that. Like, we're not saying that lightly. Like, you'll really regret it. Like, this is true, like, trauma and heartbrokenness to experience that. And so when we advise and encourage young Christian couples as they're newly married or approaching marriage, like, to really take this seriously, that children are always a blessing and never a burden, that you really just like take heed of that, because it is so heartbreaking to ignore that advice. And same with our experience that we've talked about many times, like went on birth control because that's what we thought we were supposed to do. And then for years, heartbreakingly cried out to the Lord to give us children, but I had all these problems in my body that like really weren't there before I was on birth control.
Yeah,
at least not as dramatically.
Contributed something.
Yeah.
Sadly. So on the Rachel Wilson video, something else it was interesting. Well, I love it. This is the same as the Kate Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving women backwards advice.
Yep.
Go and do all you can for yourself. It's
Yeah.
also just, it's very selfish, but it's
Absolutely.
because the baseline for some, well, no, not for some reason. Currently, the devil has a few names that are relevant in this situation. The prince of the power of the air, the god of this world, lower G God, and like Revelation 12, the devil has come, like, woe to you, O earth and sea, the devil has come down in great wrath because he knows his time is short. This is where he's wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
And he knows his end is set. He is bound for the lake of fire, and he's grabbing ankles, and he's taking anybody with him on the way. So this is one of the means to which that is accomplished. It's why we can't avoid saying this. And I know there are going to be people who take this poorly, but pray that your heart would be reset on this subject, that it would not be viewed as backwards to have children sooner, because it is such a blessing and always a blessing. But the destruction, like something she mentioned in the Rachel Wilson clip, is the direct correlation. The highest correlation to anything is the more educated the women are in the society, the lower the birth rates become. And we did that Death of the West book club, which, so we've discussed how it's been several generations now of declining birth rates worldwide, and like the U.S. is somewhat behind in that sense, like in a good sense compared to Western countries, but we're not looking great overall. So Christians, let's keep making disciples, little children. But the plummeting birth rates is like how if the god of this world, Satan, is seeking to steal, kill, and destroy, and he is the enemy of God's creation, then surely he would want to eliminate as much of the development of God's creation as possible.
Yeah.
And then like the final outcome of this, which I was thinking about it when we're saying people becoming upset, like the other end of the don't tell me to have children, don't tell me not to use birth control related, but other end, because those are like more of likely to be a Christian perspectives, would be abortion.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me I can't kill my child.
Yeah.
Is I go to abortion, they call it family planning, but an abortion clinic weekly. And I'm just thinking, this last time a woman came out, because there's a grace period where you have to go in and then wait at least 24 hours to actually go and have the procedure done. And it depends. Like some women, it depends on the what point in the term they're at. But if, like, some women are going in to take the first of the pills, and some women are going in to actually have a surgical procedure done, which is tragic watching them come out from that and just be totally out of it. But anyway, this woman was clearly, she had been in for the first appointment, and she was distraught, and her man, I can't even call him that, her boy taxi driver was pulling out of the parking lot. And so we say, can you please talk to us? I have a sign that says we'll adopt your child. We've done it before. It has pictures of Lucy Ray when she was tiny on there. And they had the windows cracked, and then she rolled up the windows. She was dramatically shaking her head, and then both her and the guy just flipped us, as they started pulling out of the parking lot, just flipped us off. But she looked so emotionally destroyed, like she has to be being confronted with the reality of what's going on. I'm not remembering now where I started this train of thought from.
The depravity, that Satan's god of this world, and
It's
wrath.
Yeah, just I guess I'm not certain if this is where I was going, but Satan's doing his best for people to avoid considering things as they actually are. Like, he's the father of lies for a reason.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the abortion language, which we have an episode that will be later this year that I'm really looking forward to about abortion arguments, but so much of the language and propaganda around abortion is why it's like it's women's health care and ending your pregnancy and not the life of your child, which is exactly what's happening. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had one more video to end on a lighthearted note, a joyful children thing.
Oh, sure.
If you're ready for
bring
it.
it home,
if
yeah.
you want to wrap it up. Okay. This is just like one of the joys of parenthood.
Didn't we have these when I was
great.
This is the perfect toy. Why didn't we have these when I was a kid? I think I picked the wrong career. I should have been an architect. I'm a genius. I think I want to be buried in I bet no one even uses the hexagon. I wonder if I could build an addition onto the house. Should I change careers? The Sistine Chapel? That's nothing compared to what I could do that. Should have seen that coming. This is the perfect toy.
It is funny.
Oh, we love the Magna tiles.
They're so great.
A blessing we'd forgotten about parenthood.
Yeah.
Magna tiles.
Yeah.
There's so many toys you don't need, so many toys that could be thrown away as upon receipt. But the Magna tiles, you will daily be in pursuit of more.
Yeah, they're so great. We need more of these. Yeah, I thought the video was so funny. I knew you would love that. But yeah, having children is truly so joyful, and like the kids stomping through them at the end. We always say children are always blessings, never burdens. That doesn't mean that they never feel like burdens. Like when they destroy your Sistine Chapel with magnetiles, like it can be frustrating.
And there's a time for mourning.
Yeah, yeah. But children truly are always blessings, no matter how we feel in any moment, because it can, as joyful as being a parent is, it can be frustrating and challenging. But just because something's hard doesn't mean that it's bad or a burden. It can be hard in some moments, but it's nothing but a blessing to get to raise children to know and love the Lord.
We were told in the woman being cursed in the garden that she will have pain in child rearing. I think is typically the word. Is it say bearing or rearing?
I think it says bearing, but it's like the English translation, obviously. So there's a lot of thoughts on if it was actually supposed to be rearing or.
Where it's right here. Let's see.
I think it says bearing.
Okay, childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's a level of question over like what specifics, which is why I think we should broadly accept it as there's clear pain typically in childbirth, but also in the relational conflict in the process of
but
the
the fact that some women don't experience pain during childbirth means that doesn't mean that's the only place that it could possibly apply. Like that's what I think about it anyways.
It was related to something else, but let's see. The woman is cursed here.
We've been talking for a while because we had back-to-back episodes.
Yeah, dang it. Let me think.
The children being blessings, not burdens, and.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pain that's promised here in the child bearing, the child rearing,
bringing up children,
is then it's can be directly related to the start of the letter from James, saying, "Count it joy, my brothers, when you encounter trials of various kinds." The suffering versus perseverance, character, hope, and hope does not put us to shame. There should be an expectation of those trials, and the children sanctify you.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
cool,
amazing.
Okay, we got there.
We love babies.
That's it.
Make more babies.
Do it. See you next time. Should I sign off on the good, bad, and the funky?
Always.
Truth. Okay. Jesus loves you. Now go and sin no more.